It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the PWHPA hockey player, Rachael Smith. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you for having me, Brandon.
You're welcome. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play professional hockey?
Yeah, so after graduation, I knew I wanted to continue with hockey as I've been playing every year since I was 4 years old. So sadly, the year I graduated is when the PWHL folded. So I was looking to see what was next for me, and I got an opportunity to go out and play in Europe. So that was my next choice, and I loved it. So, yeah.
What was it like playing in the PWHL?
Oh, okay. So before university, I played in the PWHL for the Stoney Creek Sabres. So that's a junior league in Ontario that girls play into. It's like the highest level to get scholarships and go play in school. And it was probably one of my best years of hockey. Stoney Creek is a really well-known team. Luckily, I live in Stoney Creek, so it worked out for me, but it was one of the, I loved it, every second of it.
What was it like going to college and playing college hockey for Mercyhurst?
So right when I started university, I got scouted and went to Mercyhurst, and it was one of my favorite 2 years. It was amazing to be able to experience being a student athlete. I met some of my best friends from there, and they're still my best friends. And yeah, like most of my memories come from Mercyhurst when I talk about playing hockey in university.
What was it like getting to put on that green Mercyhurst jersey?
Yeah, it was amazing. Obviously the first game I remember putting on and thinking, wow, like I made it. I'm playing NCAA hockey and this is my first game, and it's just a great feeling to be like have your accomplishments and you get to wear it, and it was just a good feeling.
Of course, during your time at Mercyhurst, were you a part of the team with Taylor Kersey?
Yes. I think she was in her third year when I got there. Yeah.
What was it like, obviously, getting to play with Taylor Kersey and seeing where she is now in her career?
Yeah, so Taylor actually grew up in Hamilton as well. That's where I'm from. And so I knew her before going to Mercyhurst, which was nice to have someone to know. Yeah, it was fun playing with her. Obviously, she works hard. I look up to her when she comes to off ice training and everything like that. She works hard with that. So yeah, it was fun to play with her. I played with her for 2 years.
What were some of your accomplishments at Mercyhurst?
My freshman year, I was very honored to be announced to the CHAL rookie team. I was also named the conference rookie of the year. I was able to lead the team in points and scoring my freshman year. So that was really exciting and thrilling for me to be able to help the team in a way where I can be that lead, especially as my first year. It was very exciting.
What was it like, obviously, the transition from going from Mercyhurst to St Lawerence?
Yeah, that was a big switch. Like both the schools are mostly smaller schools, which I like. I wouldn't be able to attend a school as big as a state school, but I did the switch mostly because of my academics. I really wanted to get a science degree, which Mercyhurst didn't have for my psychology. And when I went over to St Lawerence, just the atmosphere is different. Mercyhurst is more of a in-city school. It's in Erie, Pennsylvania. And St. Lawerence is in the middle of nowhere, upstate New York. And it was just a very different vibe, very different atmosphere. The teams run very differently, but overall, both teams were cool, exciting, and yeah, it was a hard switch, especially because some classes actually didn't transfer over. So I had to do 3 years of schooling in 2 years to get caught up at St. Lawerence.
What was it like coming out of St. Lawerence and getting into the SDHL to the Goss HF?
Yeah, St. Lawerence obviously prepared me super well. We worked hard every day for my 2 final years there. So after graduation in November, I flew out to play in Goteborg, to play in the SDHL, and just playing in Sweden, the hockey is so different. It's American Canadian style hockey is a lot of skating and setting up and creating time and space. And Sweden is pass, up the ice, down the ice. It's very different vibes, but it was so interesting to just live there, experience their culture, play with them, see how they grew up in the hockey systems. Yeah, it was really interesting.
What was it like when you got to put on your first international jersey?
That was an awesome experience too. Moving to a different country, you have no idea what to expect, especially even like moving to the United States, which is only 2 hours away. But this time I'm moving across to a different continent. It was unbelievable. It was just like a time where you can just sit in your stall and think about, like, I'm sitting here in Sweden. I did not expect to be here 5 years ago. It was very interesting.
What were some of your accomplishments during your time in Sweden?
Yeah, so I actually went to Sweden. I can be some help to the team. So I missed the first half. But when I got there, I actually found out that I think I was one of the first ever on their team paid players to play on their roster. And I think that was a huge accomplishment, not only for me, but for the organization, that they were able to compensate the females for playing professional hockey. And I think that's amazing. It's like saying I only got to play half the season, but again, it was super exciting.
What was that feeling like of, obviously, you said you were the first female to get paid professionally to play over there. What was that feeling like of finally, obviously, your hard work of playing finally pays off?
Yeah, well, I was just the first for that specific team. But yeah, it was just a awesome experience. Like, when I say paid, I mean paid enough to live, travel, compensation was taken care of, which is exactly what I needed. And yeah, it was a really good feeling knowing that the hard work I did every day growing up, I was able to live off that. And yeah, I'm still like blown away to think about that. So yeah.
What was the transition like from you after the SDHL folded to go into the PWHPA?
Yeah, so I came home and I didn't know what I wanted to do yet. So I actually took a whole year off of hockey and went back to graduate school and did a year of grad school. And then I started in the summer, and I just told myself I want to get back into hockey. I don't think I'm done yet. And the PWHPA spoke to me in a way that even if it's not in my time, I want to promote a professional league, because like I said, when I graduated, the CWHL folded, and I realized there isn't a professional league for women to get drafted to that is top quality. So I signed up and tried out for the PWHPA Toronto Team Sonnet region, and I was lucky enough to be offered a spot for this year.
What was it like? Obviously, as you said, you took a year off and then you came back. What was that like during the preparation of taking that year off?
Yeah, so obviously I was a little behind. Most of the girls have been skating daily through COVID. But yeah, I was on the ice a bit with coaching. I coach the Stoney Creek Sabres now, the team I played on before university. But yeah, I was a little step behind. Obviously, the girls know
back to speed now, but it was a hard transition.
What was it like getting to play with the GTA West in the PWHPA?
So the GTA West was my first year out of university. I only played for a couple months before going to Sweden. During that time, it was crazy to go to practice and have half the team former or current Olympians. Like walking into a dressing room and seeing girls I looked up to, like Sarah Nurse, Laura Fortino, Brianne Jenner, sitting in a room that now I'm sitting in getting dressed was crazy to think about and be there for. I was able to play one tournament in Toronto with them, and that was just a surreal experience, especially just being with them, playing with them, and at the same time promoting what could be a possible pro league to all the girls that came to watch was super interesting and great. And yeah.
What was it like the first time you got to put on the PWHPA jersey?
That was awesome. We actually had our first tournament in Halifax. Now they're watching professional hockey, traveling across the country, promoting the PWHPA. And that's what all I wanted as a hockey player growing up, was to be that person that girls looked up to, and I was there at that stage. So it was a great feeling.
What was it like when you got to join the Toronto team?
That I got to join Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a great experience, and feeling to be told that I was offered a spot on that team for this year. Obviously with tryouts, it was a little intimidating, especially after taking that full year off. But yeah, that next practice where the full team got together and practiced, and I was like, got to put on my skates and be out there with them. It was a great feeling.
Of course, what was some of your typical game days like in the PWHPA?
Typical game day. Pre-game meal with the team, of course. We all get together in the morning and have a good meal. Since we're all older and we all have our different habits, everyone has different ways of preparation. We all had our different style of warm up. I think a huge part of getting ready for a game is getting dressed in any way that we feel that shows our personality. We all like to get dressed, business attire, look professional. We all have our funky hats on or shoes that we believe that will prepare us for the game. And I think that's a cool thing that we get to do. We get to show our style entering the rink. And yeah, I really enjoy our pre-games before games.
Of course, do you have any game day routines and rituals that you do?
No, so I am not superstitious in any way. If you can ask any of my teammates, I don't do anything superstitious. I like to show up. I don't do anything the same usually. I just warm up, get dressed, I talk, I can have a great conversation, I laugh, make jokes. I don't have anything superstitious that I do.
What is it like, obviously, getting to meet your fans after the games and obviously get to take autographs and photos with them?
Yeah, no, that's like the best feeling in the world, knowing that these girls want to get your attention. They want your autographs, picture with you, because that's what I did growing up with girls that I looked up to, and now I'm that person. And it just, yeah, like I said, it's what you wanted growing up, and I'm in that position, and I'm that person that they're hoping I make the impact to create a pro league for them. And that's the best feeling in the world.
Who are some players that you look up to in your league or in other leagues like the PHF?
That I look up to?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I look up to, like, if retired, I look up to Jana Hefford. She's a Canadian Olympian, and I think she played on the Olympic team for over 15 years, and she's one of the biggest supporters and she's the chairperson and operations consultant with the PWHPA. And even though she's retired, she is still in the game, and she still helps out every second. She helps to run and increase revenue and sponsorships and opportunities for these young girls, even though she's not in the spotlight anymore. And I think that's absolutely amazing is what she's doing for us.
What are some of your future hockey plans in your playing career?
As long as possible, I want to stay in the PWHPA and promote a pro league for girls that are younger than me, especially the girls I coach for the junior team. I want them to have a pro league by the time they graduate university, and so that's what I'm going to try and do.
What advice would you give college players looking to play professionally and go on to play in college?
Yeah, I think they should have as much experience traveling the world as possible. I very highly recommend traveling to Europe like I did in Sweden. I think that was probably the best experience I've had in my life. And I recommend if you have the opportunity, the time, they want to take a year off before going into the workforce, I think that is one of the best things you can do. I recommend traveling, playing hockey, going to Europe, joining the PWHPA if still there. I just think that was the most beneficial experience hockey can give you, and I think you should take that.
What advice would you give professional hockey players looking to travel the world just like how you did to play overseas?
Yeah, do it. It's an amazing experience. Not many people can say that they are offered to play and travel Europe, and we all have that experience as college athletes, and I think you should take that. I was, especially with a team like from Sweden reaching out to me, I was like, whoa, this is weird. Like, how do they know about me? Why are they contacting me? But if you really look into it, take that opportunity and go with it. That opened me up to many friendships in Europe. It got me to visit many countries I don't think I would have ever visited in my life. I got to experience their hockey culture, their cultures in general. And I brought back with me longtime friends and experiences that will last my lifetime. So I totally recommend it.
What advice would you give hockey players looking to obviously decide where to play professionally, whether it's the PHF or the PWHPA?
I think that you need to follow your heart and do your research. If you really truly love the game of hockey, I recommend the PWHPA because they want to create a professional league of the top athletes in the world, kind of like an NHL for women. And I believe, like, I want that to happen, and not just for me, but I want it for the girls, like I said, that are 13 or 14 years old right now that want to dream of playing professional hockey in a league that's sustainable. And I think that if you have that mindset, that's what you should do. But again, it comes with where you're living and how much time you have and how much time you can spend playing hockey versus something else you're doing in life. So yeah.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
Yeah, I am on Instagram, and I do have TikTok, but like every person nowadays, but I don't use Twitter. I'm only on Instagram at Rachael Smith.
Thank you again, Rachael Smith, for your interview, and best of luck in your future in the PWHPA.
Thank you so much, Brandon, for having me today.
You're welcome. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Rachael Smith, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.